Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Sunday, October 22nd, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. You know you can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course, the 215 spelled out on Twitter. Coffee, Patreon donations are always welcome, accepted, and appreciated. But without further ado, we are covering the week of October 15th to the 21st, and let's get into the news. The NWA has secured a TV deal with the CW Network. This is really solid. It's always good to have wrestling on basic television because you can get more viewers there. The reports, according to Billy Corgan, NWA Power will air every Tuesday on YouTube, and we'll see what happens with the CW. Ring of Honor has locked in their date and venue for Final Battle 2023. It will take place December 15th in Garland, Texas at the Curtis Colwell Center. Start time, bell time is at 6:30 p.m. And if you haven't watched Dynamite, and you really should, Sting has set up his retirement date. His last match will be at Revolution 2024. That's about three and a half months to go. Rhea Ripley has topped PWI's Women's 250 of 2023, and honestly, it's much deserved. Rounding out the top 10, going from 10 to 1, Jordan Grace at 10, Camille at 9, Willow Nightingale at 8, which I'm very shocked at, but much deserved for her. Deonna Purrazzo at 7, Athena at 6, Tam Nakano at 5, Jamie Hayter at 4, Bianca Belair at 3, and Julia at 2. Julia is the only other woman on this list that could really contend with Rhea for the number 1 spot. Reports come out of why Samoa Joe never won the WWE Championship. Well, it's very simple. Vince McMahon's a dumbass. It's that simple. Vince McMahon is a dumbass, and even though Joe had many supporters backstage, Vince McMahon is still and will always be a dumbass. It's that simple. Mistico is officially a part of the AEW roster. As you know, he's a member of La Faction Ignoble with Preston Vance and Roosh. And speaking of AEW rosters, Brock Anderson is no longer a part of the roster. He's no longer with the company, so we'll see what goes on with him in the near future. And it is confirmed that he is not with the company. He last wrestled on August 12th on an episode of Collision. And if you haven't watched Bound for Glory, you should watch Bound for Glory, and we will have the What Just Happens coming up later in the evening. Don't forget to check that out for the review of Bound for Glory. Impact Wrestling will be switching back to the TNA name. Total non-stop action. They're going back to the original insignia, even though I wish it would really update it, modernize, but it was revealed that at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view going down on January 13th will be the return to TNA. This was announced at the end of Bound for Glory. And the reason that they're really switching back to this is that colloquially people still refer to Impact Wrestling as TNA. And it's just to put all the history together, because you remember at one point they were Global Force Wrestling, which was just stupid, and international partners still refer to them as TNA. So we're going to take everything that's been going great with Impact right now and slapping the TNA name and branding back on it. The six-sided ring will not be returning, but this is really good. They're going to have new production, new setup, and this is everything that Anthem has been building towards. And TNA, I'm going to start calling them TNA now, have just been really great since Anthem took over and washed off the Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff stink off of it. This is This is going to be good. Everything, they're going to switch the titles to TNA title with the logos, and they have new titles coming in. On the injury side of news, Serpentico, he is out with an injury. He has an arm injury. He was located with his arm in a sling. And if you've been wondering about Red Velvet, she's been out for the better part of a year dealing with an injury, so we wish her the best of recovery, see how long she'll be out. On the rating side of things, the October 14th episode of Collision brought in 504,000 viewers with a .14. The 18-49 demo, that was the Christian Cage Bryan Danielson TNT Championship match. Raw this past week brought in 1.4 million viewers with a .44, and the 18-49 demo. Dynamite this past week brought in 901,000 viewers with a .31, and the 18-49 demo, that is way up from where they were last week, because obviously they were on Tuesdays, going up against NXT. SmackDown this past week brought in 2.1 million viewers. That is down from the 2.3 from the previous week, because obviously the previous week was the season premiere and the return of Roman Reigns. Rampage this week brought in 314,000 viewers with a I don't have the demo, with a .13 in the 18-49 demo. That is the news, and we shall be right back. All right, let's get into the week in review. Monday Night Raw, well, it was all about the Judgment Day once again, as they regain the tag team championships, but we'll get into that. Raw gets a fist. So Sami Zayn opened up the show. This is his first show. As you know, Kevin Owens is now on SmackDown. Listen, he's upset that KO was gone, and it's due to Jay, and even though he's forgiven Jay, it doesn't feel right that Sami, his tag team partner, is gone, but Jay's walking around as the tag team champion. It feels weird to him. The Judgment Day come out. They're going to offer to help Sami. They're going to take him out, but Jay has his back. Sami explodes on Jay backstage, and then he apologizes. But we're getting some more character development with Sami Zayn, because it's great. It's fucking Sami Zayn. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Ricochet in a Falls Count Anywhere match. This was bananas. There's a nice little callback. Ricochet went through the grill area and told Shane Helms, hey, he's like, stand back, there's a Ricochet coming through. Funny. And the crazy thing happened in this match was that Ricochet did a shooting star press off of the aisle area, but Shinsuke still went. I thought Ricochet was going to win here to help elevate him, but I don't know why we're protecting Nakamura if he lost multiple World Championship matches to Seth Rollins. Piper Niven defeated Natalya. Tegan saved Natalya from a beatdown. So looks, here's her new tag team. Obviously, Seth in the ring tells Drew to get over it about the bloodline, and Drew's like, no, why should I get over it? They've screwed me over time and again, and I carry this company during the pandemic, and then when I get my shot to earn the championship back, the bloodline screwed me. Get over it? Nah. He also mentioned that he is the last person to truly defeat Seth Rollins. Udrid Kaiser defeated Johnny Gargano with a little bit of help from his tag team partner. Indy Hartwell confronted Becky and wants the NXT Women's Championship. She wants a title shot, because remember, Indy never lost the championship. She had to relinquish it due to injury. Becky agrees, and as she's walking away, she comes face to face with Rhea Ripley. So yes, we should be getting this match next year at WrestleMania. Sami also tells Drew to get over it, and they'll face each other next week. Rhea versus Shayna ended in no DQ, as Nia, Raquel, and Zoe all got involved, and Zoe's the last one standing. Later on, Adam Pearce tells Rhea that things are different now. You just won't go over demand and stuff. She's going to defend the championship at Crown Jewel in a 5-way against Shayna, Raquel, Nia, and Zoe. Gunther retained the Intercontinental Championship against Bronson Reed in a banger of a match. This was outstanding. We're giving Gunther more and more challenges to defeat, having great matches so he can eventually use the belt to Gabe, because he's going to lose the championship to Gable Nia hijacked the Miz's interview, and in the main event, the Judgment Day regained the tag team championships after Jimmy arrived and cheap shotted Jay. Now you're wondering, well, why would they give Jay and Cody a short championship reign? It was very simple. It was just to set up the confrontation between Cody and Roman. That's it. Because there's heat there. There's a lot of heat there. Over on Dynamite, everyone is coming for MJF. This show gets a fist. Jay White in the opening match defeated Penta, and Juice guarantees that he'll win the Diamond Battle Royal later on in the evening. MJF will be on commentary for the Battle Royal, and Max Caster offers the Acclaimed to help him. He offers that. MJF still doesn't want it. He's going to take it at some point. Hikaru Shida retained the Women's Championship against Emi Sakura. This is your women's segment of the evening, because Tony Khan, we don't need to go over this. Adam Copeland says he won't fight Christian. He wants to team with him, and that's why he came to AEW, to team with his best friend of 40 years. And he says the Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne will eventually turn on Christian Cage. Wardlow arrives and defeated Ryan Nemeth, points to his MJF written on his wrist tape when Shivani asks what he wants, pushes Shivani, and just leaves. Renee Paquette interviews Kenny Omega, and he wants to get back on track. His win-loss record isn't the greatest right now, and he says that Kyle Fletcher reminds him of himself, and he's approached by MJF. They have a little bit of respect for each other. It's weird. MJF tells Kenny, 13 days, bitch. I don't know what he's referring to, 13 days, but we'll see. Adam Cole finally leaves Roddy's house in the middle of nowhere to have his surgery, and Roddy says he knows how to get Adam Cole back, and he's got to be friends with the scumbag. And I didn't know what was going on with these Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. Like, seriously, I figure Roddy and MJF will start defending the championships together. Hobbs tells a story that when he was younger, him and his grandmother were at a show, and Jericho walked past them, told them to sit down and shut up. Until that day, Hobbs says he has promised to shut up Chris Jericho. Kyle Fletcher will prove himself once again, and then Kenny Omega defeats Kyle Fletcher. But the match was really, really good. Lance Archer arrives, wins, leaves. Simple. Swerve tell Hangman that he made this personal. It wasn't supposed to be personal. It was just about business. And Hangman was supposed to just be a stepping stone, but now you're getting into Mogul Embassy's business, and now I gotta put you down. Sting announces retirement. Went over his career, gave props to Hogan and Buff Bagwell, Ric Flair, and Tony Schiavone. And Sting's last match will be at Revolution 2024. I think Sting's going to retire undefeated. His last match will probably also be against Darby Allin. Tony had her new movie. Nick Wayne in a center interview with Jim Ross and his mother, Nick Wayne's mother. That is, Nick said that he didn't want to be in Darby's shadow anymore, and Christian's a better dad than his. It's a better dad than Buddy Wayne ever was. His mother is really upset about that. Nick leaves with Christian, who says, "Are you ready to go tonight?" Father of the year. And he tells Nick's mom that she should have picked up the phone. As they're leaving, when the doors close, Darby attacks them. They fight to the arena, and Sting helps out Darby, fighting everybody off. In the main event, Juice Robinson wins the Diamond Battle Royal, lastly eliminating Max Caster. This was a good storyline development. So next week we will have Juice Robinson versus Maxwell Jacob Freeman for the Dynamite's Diamond ring, and Juice can replace his TJ Maxx ring with MJF's ring. I kind of expect Juice Robinson to win. Max can't win this 5 years in a row, right? Over on Impact, we had our Bound for Glory Go Home show. Speedball Mike Bailey defeated Samurai Del Sol in a nice little fast-paced, action-packed match. Dirty Dango has backup in Oleg Prudis, the former Latimer. Kozlov Kenny King defeated Heath. Cass has respect for Eddie Edwards, and they'll help move now TNA into the new future. Crazy Steve defeated the Black Taurus. Moose and Brian Myers defeated PCO and Rhino. Bully stops Macklin from attacking Rhino, but Rhino doesn't want Bully's help. Bully says you're welcome anyway. Alex Shelley and Josh Alexander have a sit-down interview. And essentially, Shelley wants the respect, and Alexander is saying the pressure is getting to to Alex Shelley. In the main event, Trinity and Mickie James defeated Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans. Over on SmackDown, we had a standard but solid show. It's crazy to think the show only actually had 3 matches. That annoys me. But y'all let me know what y'all think. LA Knight confronted Paul Heyman. It says, look, they're going to have a contract signing next week between him and the Tribal Chief. And he's going to make it do what it do. This is for the World Championship match at Crown Jewel. Obviously, LA Knight's not going to win. He just needs to look good in defeat. Montez Ford defeated Santos Escobar, and Carlito ran off the Street Profits off after the match. The LWO says they'll have Reyes back when he confronts Logan Paul. He says he doesn't need it. Cena is out here. He says he needs a W. He wants a W. He hasn't won a match in like 2,000, a singles match on, I think, SmackDown, like 2,000 days. He says he'll beat anyone who comes out. Solo comes out because Solo's that dude. They fight, they brawl. Jimmy comes out, and a hooded figure attacks Jimmy, and it's revealed to be Jay. You figured this was going to happen. And then Nick Aldis kicks Jay and Adam Pearce out of the building. Oh, would you look at that? It's 6 weeks until Survivor Series. Rey Mysterio accepts Logan Paul's challenge. A-Town Down Under, the team of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller defeated Dragon Lee and Cameron Grimes. KO is up for the challenge of Rolling Solo on SmackDown. And Io Skye retained the WWE Women's Championship over Charlotte Flair. So that is W's over Charlotte and Asuka, and in a triple threat match. Bianca returned to take out and damage control. So fine. SmackDown. Over on Rampage, Mistico, the former Sin Cara, the former Mistico, who is Mistico, defeated Rocky Romero in a 2 out of 3 falls match. This was a banger. Stokely Hathaway, and he has Jay Lethal and company with him, and he has Eddie Kingston with him. He tells, listen, he's setting up a match, and Eddie will face Jeff Jarrett, and if Jeff Jarrett wins, Eddie Kingston will defend the championship against Jay Lethal. And you know Eddie Kingston, wrestling is real to him, and he just has words and does what Eddie Kingston does, and is just great, and he's all in Jeff Jarrett's face. So yeah, Eddie does what Eddie does. John Silver defeated Brother Zay and Kip Sabian to earn an international championship match on Battle of the Belts. Claudio and Wheeler Yuta squash match, and Ruby Soho in the main event defeated Skye Blue. After the match, Skye declined Kris Statlander's help. So Skye's turning. She's turned. She also was wearing beautiful Mystery Machine inspired gear. Just Skye Blue. Over on Collision, the House of Black are back. They ran this show. Bryan Danielson defeated Andrade in a superb match. The lights went out. Lights came back on. Malachi Black kicked Bryan Danielson's head off. Oh my goodness. Darby Allin invites Nick Swain to be on Dynamite next week. Skye Blue won a squash, and that's your women's match for Collision. Yay! The Gun Club also won the squash, and then on the screen, the devil was looking around. The guns and Juice are a little scared. During a backstage injury, Kris Statlander was squatting Lexi. It's hilarious. Jeff Jarrett defeated Eddie Kingston in a Memphis street fight. Miro defeated Action Andretti. 3.0 are still a family. We had a nice little exchange between Angelo Parker and Ruby Soho. And Ruby Soho says she'll take on all challenge. FTR won a squash match. The House of Black attacked them after the match. CJ Perry's interested in Andrade. Now, he didn't say yes. He also didn't say no. Big Bill and Ricky Starks retained the tag team championships over Claudio and Wheeler Yuta due to interference from the House of Black. FTR Danielson in return, and John Moxley fights everybody off, and Ricky Starks catches a big rig after the match. Over on Battle of the Belts, guess how many belts change hands? None. Cassidy and Mox had a little shoving match right before Cassidy's time to defend, so yeah, it's not over between them two. Cassidy retained the International Championship against John Silver. Samoa Joe retained the Ring of Honor TV Championship over Tony Nese, and he says he's coming for MJF. He is not Duns. Kris Statlander retained the TBS Championship over Willow and Nightingale in a fun horse fight of a match. Skye blew game out to try to discourage Willow Nightingale from shaking Statlander's hands, but Willow does it anyway. And in the main event, the Acclaimed retained the Trio Championships over 3.0. Max Castle's raps were getting a little hotter, a little harder, quicker. I'm digging it. But that was the week. And our matches of the week from Raw: the Intercontinental Championship match, Gunther defending against Bronson Reed in enough big meaty men slapping man meat. Love it. From Dynamite, Kenny Omega versus Kyle Fletcher. Yo, Kyle is someone special. He needs to be on your radar. Watch out for him. From Rampage, Mistico versus Romero in a 2 out of 3 falls match. From Collision, Bryan Danielson versus Andrade, Idolo. This was the dream match that Tony Khan had promoted. Still a great match. From Battle of the Belts, Kris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale for the TBS Championship. Love Willow, love Kris. It was the match I was looking forward to in Battle of the Belts. From Bound for Glory, ABC versus the Rascalz for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. Will Ospreay versus Speedball Mike Bailey. This is a match of the year candidate. Go watch this match. And lastly, Alex Shelley versus Josh Alexander with the Impact World Championship on the line. Just a good match. Don't forget to check out What Just Happened, a review show, as we'll be reviewing Bound for Glory. Check that out. Don't forget our star of the week. I gotta give it to Skye Blue. She was all over AEW this week on Rampage, on Collision, on Battle of the Belts. The turn is coming. Will Willow be able to save her? But that's our show. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to check out the socials. Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube. Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram. The 215 spelled out on Twitter. Coffee, Patreon, and of course, check out the High Risk Wrestling Podcast every week, with this Saturday being the Where'd They Go show. We're going to talk about some people that just disappeared from the companies they're in, even though they're still employed. And we'll have the first episode of Throwback Thursday up this week, obviously, on Thursday. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce, and I will see you when I see you. Peace.